Okay, good evening, Jerusalem. Okay, unlike David Horowitz, I have no problem with saying fuck as many times a day as I possibly can. And I was very, very happy that I was invited tonight, not just because it's the coolest place in town to be here at these nights, but because I got to hear my mother say fuck up in a heavy Moroccan accent. What is this fuck up night you're doing tonight? And just for that, it was worth coming. So my name is Fleur, Hassan-Nahoum, and I have to admit it's a bloody nightmare to have that name in this country. First of all, because it's almost like a punishment, I swear. First of all, because Fleur, nobody can pronounce, okay? So the Americans call me Fleur. The Israelis call me Feller. If they call me up and they just read my name, Feller, whatever, Pilar, Fleur when they go nuts. And most of the time people call me Fleur because there's no in Hebrew. So it's a problematic name. And then if I didn't have enough with that, Hassan-Nahoum. Okay, I'm a stupid feminist, so I wanted to keep my name that I was born with. I never thought otherwise. Ooh. And that's Hassan. Now, where I come from, Hassan is a Jewish name. When I'm in Ben Gurion Airport, I am a terrorist suspect. If my name was Ruti Hassan, okay, you know, I know there's Moti Hassan. Hassan is like a name of Safaris who, you know, had an Arab name. They came to Israel, but Fleur could be anything. So my name is a nightmare. But I held on, even though the woman in the Misrad Klita, when I made Aliyah 16 years ago, said to me, זה לא שם טוב. למה? Because I was given this name when I was born and I got used to this name. No. She said to me, you have to be Flora Nahoum. I said, no, I'm no Flora. I'll stick with Fleur and I'll have a difficult life in Israel. But you know, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. So here I am. Okay, so that's my name. Okay, so what do I do? And I'll give you a little bit of, I've decided as a good woman who always blames herself for everything to do 2 fuck-ups, not 1. Hello. The first fuck-up, okay, my husband would say you don't need a microphone, everybody can hear you. The first fuck-up involves my professional life as a communications consultant. I have a company that I set up called Message Experts, and I'm very proud to say that one of my first clients in Message Experts was Siftek. Where are you, Siftek? You believed in me. You were one of my first clients. I will never forget that. So present tense is also a client. So thank God I've got a lot of clients. I've built up my business over the years. And what I always say to people is that I help people take ideas and turn it and verbalize it into effective messages and deliver it in an effective way. That's what I do in my business. And my business has grown from doing just that and speaker training to branding, all communications business. And my first fuck-up involves the growth of that business and how that happened. So, like I said, I trained as a speaker trainer. I was always a decent presenter, and then a friend of mine said to me, why don't you learn how to train people how to speak? And I said, you know, I could do that. I love helping people. I love giving people strength and a voice. I'm a bit of a, you know, life coach type of person. So this suits me. I did it. So I started training speakers. For conferences, and then I started doing messaging. And with messaging, I did a lot of work with startups. So helping somebody come with a very, very complicated idea that nobody understands except him or her and their roommates, and turn it into something that actually resonates with people. That's what I'm really good at doing. And that's what I was doing for many years. So from that, my clients used to say to me, so Fleur, can you help us now do a pitch deck? We did this amazing messaging session with you. Help us do a pitch deck. So I was like, well, how hard can it be? I took a great designer. There's plenty of great designers, many of them right here in Jerusalem. I'll give you names afterwards. I took a great designer, and we turned the messaging that we'd done over a number of sessions into a pitch deck. So I was getting good at this. So then some other client comes and says, well, you know, you did the messaging and you did the pitch deck. Do you think you could help us with branding? I was like, how difficult can it be? Okay, I did the messaging. I actually feel that messaging has an advantage to branding companies. Sorry if there's any branding people out there, I love you dearly. But sometimes when you do the messaging first, it kind of gives you a stronger base to go into the visual branding. Sometimes what I find is that people who do branding visually first, sometimes the message is kind of superficial, so it's good to work on the message first. I work with a lot of branding companies together. I do the messaging and they do the visuals. So I decided that I was going to go, you know, I just read Startup Nation. And I was all inspired about the whole thing about, you know, we're Israelis. Somebody says, can you do this? You say, sure. And then you're like, oh, fuck, how am I going to do it? So that's what I thought, you know, I'll go with this. So I did it, and it worked a number of times. And I had a client who had a very complicated startup, which was actually a number of different companies and a number of nonprofits in this big, complicated sort of network of a business that he had. And it took like a month, but we really got to the bottom line of the message. The guy had a fantastic narrative that we put together. And after a month, he said to me, he calls me up, I've got an investor meeting next week. Could you do a PowerPoint, a pitch deck in a week? So I call my designer, can we do a pitch deck in a week? She says yes. So I said, okay, sure. In a week, the guy had an amazing, fantastic pitch deck. And then I started getting a little bit too confident. So the guy says to me, listen, we need to do 2 websites in a month. Can you do it? What do you do? What do you do? Tell me, what do you do? I'm building my business. I've got a lot of energy, as you can see. I've got good, you know, I've got good designers. I'm like, yes. And also there's a little bit of that people pleaser woman in me that doesn't like to say no. You know, it's complicated in politics, but there's part of me that just learned naively to say no. So I said, okay, yeah, sure, I can do two websites in a month, without checking with my designers and my content writers and all the people around me who maybe don't have the same pace of energy or maybe just have other work from other people. So I accepted this challenge without getting my ducks in a row. I knew I could do it. I just didn't bring my team with me to see if they could do it. And that was the mistake. And I'm not saying, I don't encourage you not to take risks. It's important to do something every day out of your comfort zone. I really believe in that. However, you gotta be organized. You gotta have the operational capacity that when you say yes, you gotta get it done. What happened? A month and a half passed. I kept delaying the deadline. The guy kept getting nastier and nastier by the week. It was horrible. I mean, I've worked with other people where we've had deadline issues, but you know, this guy obviously, I mean, I don't know. He obviously had his own issues. I'm not going to psychoanalyze him. But basically, what happened was, after a month, I had half a website and another quarter of a website. I had some of the content, some of the design, and the relationship just broke down between me and my client. And at one point, and I guess I'm proud of myself for this one little thing, I said, listen, if you're already talking to me like this is no longer a beneficial relationship that's going to get us anywhere. So, you know, you've given me a deposit. If you want to take it back, take it back. We're not going to continue with this. And that was that. And that was, you know, what I consider quite a big fuck up in my professional growth of my company. But it taught me a lesson. And that is, again, yeah, be brave. Yes, take risks. But make sure that you have the operational capacity to do what you say you're going to do. Okay, so that's one fuck up. Next fuck up. You know, I told you I like saying fuck. Next fuck up, that's political. There's always a political fuck up. There's usually one a week. But I guess my biggest political fuck up was when I ran for election to the municipality almost 3 years ago. It was 2013. I met a group of people that really inspired me called the Yerushalmim, which at the time was led by Rachel Azaria, who today is a member of Knesset with the Kulanu party. And I was asked to join the list, and I said, fuck it. No, I'm somebody who grew up in a political family. It gives me meaning to my life. It gives me a reason to wake up in the morning. I love doing something for society. I love to advance. I love to have impact. And so I couldn't say no. When I was asked, I said, this is it. I'm doing this, and I'm going to do the best I can. And we ran a very, very good, effective campaign. I did the messaging, of course. They got me for free. I did the messaging. We ran a great campaign. Our message resonated We did a great build up to the campaign, but we forgot one thing. And this was my second fuck up. The one thing was that on election day, we didn't get to the finish line strong. In other words, we had a fantastic campaign. We really did. But the last day, the day of the election, is worth at least a mandate. A mandate is about 6,000, 7,000 votes. And that is the operations that you have on election day. That is the volunteers that you have outside every single kalpi, pushing people, the colors of your party, the brand of your party. You're making sure that you're very present. But what happened to us? Our volunteers, and I adore our volunteers are married people with children. Other parties had volunteers who were students, who were people with time on their hands, or they paid for people to stand outside the kalpis. And we were trying to be righteous. No, we want people who believe in our cause. We want people who will stand there and talk about our values. But we didn't decently plan for a very effective operation on election day. So what happened? At the end of the election day, with all the polls saying we were going to get 4 mandates, and I remember that night very, very clearly, I was number 4 on the list. Okay, so you understand. If we would have gotten 3 seats, I would have had a rotatia, I would have rotated with somebody. So after 2.5 years, I would have been a city councillor anyhow. But as the night went on, we went from the counting, we went from 4 mandates to 3 mandates to 2 mandates. It was a tragedy because we really missed the 3rd mandate by like 200 votes. We really missed it by nothing, and there's many reasons why we missed it. I'm not going to blame everything on the operation of the day, but we didn't get our act together on that day the way that we should have. So, originally, I didn't get in. I was number 4, we got 2. If there was a rotatia, it would be between 2 and 3. 4 would not appear. So what did I do? Well, I stayed in bed for 2 days, listening to Joni Mitchell. Does anybody here know who Joni Mitchell is? Nathan, Debbie, that's it, right? Maybe over here, and yeah, over 40s, Joni Mitchell, yeah. So Joni Mitchell, which is the best music to listen to when you're deeply depressed about a fuck up. I adore her. For 3 days, my husband at one point said to me, "Are you gonna get out of bed at any time? There's 4 children to deal with." I'm like, no, I need to wallow in my own misery for 3-4 days. After 4 days, I got up. What do you do when you fuck up? You get up. You go like that. You put your best face forward. You put your makeup on. You go out. And you just get on with it. And as fate would have it, Rachel Azaria, who was the number 1 on the list, went off to the Knesset, and I got in by surprise last May. So here I am, fuck up and no fuck up, here to serve all of you. So if you ever have a problem with the city, come to me. I got down and I got up again, and I'm here to live the tale, enjoy and embrace your fuck ups, and just look forward, don't look back. Thank you very much.
Questions? Over there? Yeah.
Pardon, sorry, I didn't hear you.
It's just kind of tongue in cheek. It's ironic that you started out with a story about how your name was very bad messaging.
It was definitely bad messaging. I know, and people, you know, the funniest thing, sometimes it can work in my favor, I'll tell you why. You know, the Haredi press doesn't normally like to put a picture of a woman, even a name of a woman, but they don't know if I'm a man or a woman. So I'm often quoted in the Haredi press, no picture, what the hell? Works in my favor. Yes, any other questions? Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, since you're a successful woman, to thank you for that, first of all. I really appreciate it. It's beautiful seeing women succeeding in what they're doing.
Thank you. You know, I never consider myself a success because I'm a woman, you know that, right? We don't.
That's wrong.
I look in the mirror, I'm like, yeah, no.
What I was wondering, I haven't been here for an incredibly long time, but I have experienced, you know, it a bit harder here than in other places in the world, being a woman and succeeding. And I wanted to see what your take on this is.
Being in Israel, in the Middle East, as a woman and trying to succeed, not easy. But you know what? The most important lesson that I have to say to any women, don't try and be like a man. You know, I love one of my favorite shows in the world is Wicked. Any Wicked fans here? The musical? Now, there's a line in Wicked, I'm not going to sing like David Horowitz, but there's a line in Wicked that says, I'm through with playing by the rules of somebody else's game. Don't play by the rules of somebody else's game. Make your own rules. Yeah. Make your own rules. And that's how you can succeed as a woman. Don't try and be like a man. Don't. Yes.
It's not a question, it's a request.
Sure.
As a city council member.
Yes.
Please do what you can to keep Lev Smadar open.
We're trying very hard to keep Lev Smadar open. When I leave here, I'm going to go to another conference on Emek Rephaim about keeping Jerusalem pluralistic, about having a place that is good for everybody. I believe pluralism is everybody, from the ultra-Orthodox to the total atheist Chilonim. Look, I always say, Jerusalem. Is that a hint? Is that like, shut the fuck up? I truly believe that whatever we can solve in Jerusalem resonates across the world. Whatever we fix here has ripples all over the world, because Jerusalem in the old kingdom was supposed to be a place not of any tribe, not of any one tribe. It was the place where all tribes met. And it's a place that's supposed to include all tribes. So anything we can fix here resonates not just with the Jewish people and with our region, resonates around the world. And that's why I'm dedicated to fixing things here. And whoever wants to join me, come and join me. We need good, active people, energetic people. Jerusalemites were saying, we're here, we're queer, get used to it. We're staying.